All right, here we go, guys. This is it, the Manchester Derby. We're up against Manchester City. You'll notice that Holland is not in their side. He's out with I think it was a leg injury of some sort. So that might make it a little bit easier for us here, but it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. We'll see how we go. And this is really kind of that test of our tactic to see how we're doing. We're actually now in first position. We were in second when this match was announced. So I think Football Manager might be having a little bit of trouble considering that there are 48 teams here in this Premier League, trying to figure out who belongs where. Manchester City are in 10th, which is a little bit of a surprise since they were picked to win everything here. And Cristiano Ronaldo shows us why he's in the side. There's Edwards over to Maradona, and he is brought down to the penalty area, and unfortunately there's no call for that. Man, I tell you, there were big dollar signs that came up in my eyes when we saw him getting up there, man. I mean, that was easy money. And that should have been an easy goal. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get a shot off. De Vici is in there, up to Edwards, over to Figueroa. Back to De Vici. Vici over to Best. George Best over to Duncan Edwards. Left side, back to Best. Best over to Vici, back to Best to Edwards. Edwards to Best, back to De Vici, over to Pele, and to Casemiro, who finally takes the shot. Pele really set him up well. Casemiro ends up winning this header. It's passed over to Maradona. Maradona with a great move, and that ends up being Pele just knocking that one in. He's in the right place at the right time and just happens to stand up there and whoops, goes one way, goes the other, and then knocks it in. Take a look at this replay here, and you'll see what we're talking about. Cristiano Ronaldo with the great pass to Maradona, and he has this great move on it, and Pele just walks up there, sees that Rodrigo and Ruben are trying to figure out who's going to take the ball, and he says, well, I'll take it, and just knocks it on in. As easy as that. Third goal of the season for Pele, and he's pretty amazing. I'm not sure if we can get away with starting him every match. We're going to start him in all the important ones, and hopefully we won't make him too tired, and Lev Yashin, fortunately, is there to grab that shot as Manchester City went through our defense like there was nobody there. Here's a throw-in from Ronaldo over to Pele. Pele looking for Bobby Charlton, can't find him, but Casemiro has it over to Pele again, up to Ronaldo, right side. And man, look at all those guys we have waiting for the cross, and Pele just misses. That header just misses goal. And this is pretty good. We're here behind enemy lines, and we're doing a very good job. 1-0 with the lead so far. And we'll see if we can prevent them from equalizing. Even without Holland, this is a really good Manchester City team. This is probably the biggest challenge we're going to face, at least here in the early part of the season. And we need to get the ball off of them. As you can see, it's not so easy. This is a little bit far away from playing in Taiwan. And Yashin, fortunately, is able to make that save. And boy, that looked a little bit troublesome. I'm just looking there on where our supporters are, and I see what appear to be a couple of empty seats. I'm not sure, though, if it's supposed to be empty seats or what's going on. Edwards with the ball now to De Vici. Good interception by Duncan Edwards. Over to Best now, and there's Pele. Pele's behind goal, and unfortunately just not able to get to that one. I thought that he had a clear shot on goal, and unfortunately he was just beaten by that for a second, and he almost grabs the ball from Ederson. I'm not sure what Ederson is doing there, kind of playing around with it a little bit, and now we have to watch out for the counterattack. Ronaldo is there, but he only heads it as far away as Billy Meredith, who takes the shot and scores, and that makes it 1-1. And we knew all along, I was saying that it's going to be harder than you think. We can't do a shout quite yet. I was just saying that we can't. It's a little bit harder than we think it might be, and that was a good shot. That was a good shot, and that was a good movement there by Manchester City. And you only have to, all you can do is tip your cap to them, and then demand more. De Vici with it over to Best back to Charlton, and that's a poor pass for Charlton. Part of the problem, of course, as you know, is that we have players who are not playing in positions that they're accustomed to, and it's going to be like that here for the beginning part of the season. Ronaldo almost intercepts, not quite. And let's see, Maradona now is able to intercept, and he's going to pass it up to Charlton, and Bobby's shot, not really much of a shot. It's deflected in the end. He really should have done a little bit of give and go with Maradona. I think that would have made a little bit more sense. We're still trying to get used to playing with each other, and boy, that was almost tipped in despite the fact that the keeper was up on top of it. Here is Bauer with it, down to Ronaldo, back to Casemiro, over to Figueroa, and that's going to be the end of that. So we're looking good. We're not looking great, but this looks like it's good enough. I hope that we can continue to keep pace with them. And as I said, Manchester City's really good, even if they don't have Holland. Bernardo, and that makes it 2-1. Bernardo Silva ends up scoring that goal, and it's 2-1. And there's really not much we could do about that one. Lev Yashin is trying to do the best that he can to get to this one, but I mean, there's just no way. And that makes it 2-1 for Manchester City, and this is exactly what I was worried about. We've played well, but we're still having a couple of problems. So we'll see what we can do here. Talk these guys up and see what we can do. We're going to tell, I think, Pele that... let's see. Yeah, we'll tell Maradona to keep it up. That's probably what we're going to end up doing. Let's see what we can do. See if we can pile on the pressure ourselves. Maradona with it over to Casemiro to Pele. Back to Figueroa, over to De Vici, to Edwards, and down to Best. Best. Back to De Vici, back to Best. De Vici now to Edwards, back to De Vici, and he knocks it forward for Edwards. Duncan Edwards gets through those lines and then just gives up possession. It was a brave attempt. That is for sure. And now we need to get the ball back. It's Alvarez with it for them over to Walker, and we need to get it off of him. Bauer is there to win it, but not quite far enough. Ronaldo's out of position, and that was really, really poor. And this ends up being Julian Alvarez with the third goal of the match for Manchester City. And that was really, really poorly done by our defense. And George Best is having the worst of times, and De Vici is having a pretty poor match too. And I've got to wonder how much longer I'm going to stick with those guys. Lev Yashin did a good job to stop the first one, and there's nobody even paying attention to the second man. So we're going to make a couple of substitutions here and see what we can do. George Best is playing poorly. We'll put Giggs on for him. And De Vici is also not playing well, so I think we'll put Lisandro Martinez on, and that's going to be about it for now. So we make those two subs, try to get some poor performing players off, and hope that we can get a little bit more oomph here. And first we have to have it stop. Here's Phil Foden, and fortunately we're able to get the ball off of him, knock it out for a throw. So it could have been worse, and it ended up not being as bad as I thought it was going to be. Pretty poor performance there, George Best. We would expect it a little bit better of you. And let's see if we can at least get one goal back. I mean, if we lose, let's lose by one instead of losing by two. Ronaldo with the throw over to Maradona. Back to Ronaldo over to Bauer. Bauer with it. Brings it up laterally over to Figueroa. He goes back to Martinez. Over to Giggs. Giggs, now there's the pass to Edwards. And there's the cross to Casemiro, who scores. And so there we go. We got one back. Now let's try to get another one. So that was good. That's what we like to see. You can see this build-up here was nice and patient. And Edwards had it in a good position and just waited. And somebody was open. And then he just lobbed it forward. And there's not much you're going to do. And we have 5 different attacking players, each of whom is more than capable of scoring. And there they are with Foden knocking that free kick backwards to Guardiola, and Maradona is able to win it back to Figueroa, and this is dangerous. And I'm not quite sure what we were doing there, but that didn't look very professional to me. Ronaldo hitting it with his back foot back to Bauer, who gives up possession to Phil Foden. So that didn't work very well, and that did it. And this is going to be trouble. And here is Walker with a shot, and Yashin just barely able to get his hands onto that. I mean, again, it could be worse, I suppose. A win here does put Manchester City on top. Edwards knocks this out, and it's just far enough. But we want to make sure that we don't allow them the pleasure of beating us. And let's see if we can demand a little bit more. This has not been a particularly good showing here, especially by us defensively. Figueroa, however, able to win this ball back. And it's passed forward to Edwards. Here's Edwards with it. Plays around a little bit, and there's that pass to Pele, and it's not a good shot, not a good finish by him. Unfortunate, a little bit surprising. You'd expect him to do a little bit better than that. This was a very, very good ball forward, and Edwards was somehow able to find Pele out of this crowd of players. And now I'm not sure he actually got to it. It may have been the defender who got that. We want Pele to take that one down, take a step with it, and then fire it into the back of the net instead of trying to do some fancy lob with it. Bauer now to Casemiro, back to Figueroa, to Edwards, over to Maradona. Maradona launches it forward, looking for Charlton, can't find him, and, we're having a hard time now. We've got to see if we can't get back around onto this. So they end up bringing it up here on our left side, their right side, and playing a little bit of keep away here from us, and we need a breakthrough. We need to get the ball, and we just need to get some kind of goal and try to save something from this match. And Figueroa is out of position, but fortunately Lev Yashin is able to make that save. So it's a good thing that we decided to stick with him despite a little bit of a poor performance on one of those goals. And we're going to take Pele out. We'll put Fernandez on. Alvarez knocks this one forward, the corner. Ronaldo heads it back, but not very far. And that is the end of that. So that's the end of that highlight. You can take another look here at this play by Lev Yashin as he tries to keep the ball out and succeeds in doing so. And he shows you how to actually play that sweeper-keeper position. Again, a little bit different than watching Taiwan play, or the Mars FC in Taiwan play. They haven't quite been this good. And the pass looking for Charlton doesn't get to him. Maradona, however, does not get to him either. Giggs. And there's a cross, and it doesn't quite work. Edwards with a dangerous tackle. Maradona wins this and takes a shot, and unfortunately Ederson's there to stop it. Man, Maradona has been very unlucky in this match, and if we wind up losing this, which is what it looks like is going to happen, I've got to say that he played an excellent match, and it's just unfortunate that we're unable to get that third goal past. As it stands right now, 3-2, a defeat away from home is something that I can accept and will not be extraordinarily upset about. But again, it goes to show you that you are never going to be invincible, not in this league. Edwards probably should be sent off for that. I think it's the second time he's had a tackle like that, and then Giggs just takes it out for a throw-in. So that's going to be the end here. Meredith will throw this, and this will be the end of the match if we even get that far. Let's see what the ref says. And he does throw it into Alvarez, and it ends up with Stones, who takes a shot that's deflected, and it's going to be a corner. We're probably not going to get this one even off. I suppose so. So they've given us another full minute. Here's Gomez here to take the corner, and he stands back and waits for an eternity, and there is the full-time whistle. So we've lost this one 3-2. We had an XG of 1.92 behind their 2.34. This was a match in which they really did outplay us. This is, I know I've talked about a lot of those Mars FC losses that we've had, and well, we looked better. In this case, we did not look like the better team, despite having some incredible players. We need to go back to the drawing board and make sure that we're on the same page. And we had a number of guys who I think were not on the same page. And so that's it for today. I'll talk with you again tomorrow and see if we can have better luck. Talk to you then. Bye.